Hey, I'm Bill Sindelar, and you're watching Blister, the show for your action gaming fix. Today, we're going to find out why every hero looks better with a pet in Mark of Kri. We'll show you Sony's online game with the multiplayer shooter SOCOM Navy SEALs. Plus, we'll give you peeks of Turok Evolution, Enclave, and Hitman 2. But first, it's time to spy. Tom Clancy is known in the gaming world for bringing realism to squad shooters like Ghost Recon and Rogue Spear. Now, he's about to bring you the story of an espionage expert with the moves to make even Solid Snake blush. It's Splinter Cell. It's coming to the major consoles and the PC, and it's your new favorite thing. See why.
Just a year ago, Konami's Metal Gear Solid 2, The Sons of Liberty, had nothing to fear as far as competition went. That was then. This is now. Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell is already being touted as the Metal Gear Solid killer. Now those are big words, but one look at this game shows that Splinter Cell is more than just talk. You'll don a form-fitting black bodysuit and assume the role of Sam Fisher, an agent for a super-secret branch of the National Security Agency called the Third Echelon. This Third Echelon is a Splinter Cell of the government, tasked with doing some of the dirtier jobs asked by Uncle Sam.
The game is going to be split into 12 different levels. The way you progress into the game is you won't start with all your weapons and all your gadgets, because there are so many of them that you need first to really master them well. So the game is progressive in that sense, and you start with missions that are a little bit easier, and when you arrive, like I'd say, at the middle of the game, then you get everything, like all your weapons or your gadgets, and that's when the game gets really, really interesting.
Just like in Metal Gear Solid, you'll play through a third-person perspective. However, the camera is much more dynamic. You can use one control stick to move, while the other has full control of the camera. When you bring up your gun to fire, the camera moves in close right over your shoulder, and a targeting reticle appears. In this mode, Splinter Cell controls like a first-person shooter. While standing in total darkness, you'll virtually be invisible to enemy eyes, while well-lit areas are to be avoided.
But it's not only window dressing. Basically, in the game, as it's a stealth game, you need to use all those shadows. And what you can do also is create your own shadows sometimes by shooting some lights.
Sam will also have his share of gymnastic moves, such as being able to bounce from wall to wall, Jackie Chan style, and do the splits in a narrow hallway to avoid guards below. A slew of high-tech weaponry will be available to you, with a silenced FN-57 pistol and a multi-purpose sniper rifle falling in the first category. Night vision goggles are mandatory nowadays, but Sam is also decked out with a set of thermal goggles which displays the heat signatures of everything around. Mission obstacles will vary from obtaining secret documents in an enemy base to infiltrating the Chinese embassy in Washington, D.C.
He found us.
Of course, any game that's expected to go toe-to-toe with Metal Gear Solid 2 has to look good, and boy, does Splinter Cell look good. One of the most incredible features is the real-time shadows. Watch as the shadows will show up not just on Sam, but even on the gear he carries. Red Storm knows tactical shooters, and from what we've seen so far, it looks like Metal Gear Solid has some fierce competition coming. So we say, Snake who?
Sam Fisher from Splinter Cell may be a lone gun, but our next hero knows the value of a little teamwork. In the PS2 game Mark of Kri, you'll play as a legendary warrior with the skills to fillet a villain in seconds flat. But you won't be alone in your battles. Take a look.
Are you like me? Of course you're not. I'm Bill Sindelar, a true American original. But if you're kind of like me, then you're liking video games with a little kick, which brings us to the Mark of Kri. We're not going to be able to show you the most gruesome parts of the game, you know, just in case any of the little kiddies are watching, but we think you'll get a good understanding of what Mark of Kri is all about. Long ago, an evil spell was stolen and broken up into 6 separate parts. These 6 parts were given to 6 different families, but as time passed, these families forgot about the spells. Isn't that right, mysterious narrator?
Denizens of the world of darkness knew nothing of time. With infinite patience they waited. Then, after a millennia, to their dark joy, the spells were rediscovered.
That brings us to Rao, the hero of the game. Rao has been training all his life to be a great warrior. Now, he finally has a chance to show what he can do. As Rao fights his way through groups of bandits, he'll try to prevent the casting of the spell, thus stopping evil from conquering the land. It won't be as easy as you think. Rao may face up to 9 hooligans at a time, and they won't be shown any mercy. Rao won't be in it alone, of course. He'll have the help of his trusty bird, Kuzo. Kuzo is the one bird scouting team. By flying ahead or into those hard-to-reach places, Kuzo is able to scout around and find where the enemies are hiding out. Use the bird's eye view to figure out Rao's plan of attack. We here at Blister just have to mention the animation in the game. It's pretty darn good. What's truly nice are the loading scenes, which slowly start with a blank parchment page and are slowly sketched until it comes alive. That's 2D to 3D, folks. The Mark of Kri is available right now for the PlayStation 2. If you like your games with a lot of violence, and I do mean a lot of it, the Mark of Kri is probably just right for your sick and twisted mentality.
Who would have thought that somebody would decide to mix Disney-style graphics with a little Conan-style gore? Somehow it works, though, in Kri, even though they do look a little bit like giant Muppets on a rampage. When we come back from the break, we're going to mix it up with a little Enclave, and we'll show you the next evolution in the Turok series. It's coming up only on Blister.
Filter. Ready. Review.
Each week, I'll reveal a new top 10 list assembled by you, the viewer. We choose a different category and bring it to life with videos, images, and your comments.
Hot!
Don't forget, your vote counts.
Is that so?
Next.
Welcome back to Blister, I'm Bill Sindelar, and welcome back to the Lost Land. In the latest Turok game, you'll take part in the continuing war in the weird world that mixes dinos, people, and talking reptile guys. Of course, what it's really about is total action without the filler. But since Turok Evolution is on the next generation consoles, it's also about bigger action than ever before. Get ready for a lost world like you have never seen.
In a world where danger surrounds you at every corner. In a world where survival is rare and evil a way of life. In a world where you open the door, get on the floor, and walk the dinosaur, only one man has the ways and the means to save the world. Me, Bill Sindelar. 'Cause I'm here to tell you about the latest Turok game, Turok Evolution. Back in 1997, while the world was spicing up its life, Turok Dinosaur Hunter first appeared on the Nintendo 64. The game became one of Nintendo's most popular first-person franchises, spawning a slew of successful sequels. And now Turok is back and in a big way, available on all systems. You play the character of Fred Flintstone, and with the help of his best friend Barney, your mission is to infiltrate the Moosehead Lodge and what the... I'm sorry, Blister fans, wrong dinosaur game. You know what, why don't we just let somebody with a little bit more knowledge talk about the game, shall we?
Evolution tells the beginning of the Turok story. So this is in many ways a Turok episode 1. So it tells the origin of the Turok lineage, the story of the very first keeper of the mantle of Turok, and how that all came about.
I'll take it from here. The scene is Texas 1886, or as the kids say, back in the day. Arch enemies Indian warrior Talset and Civil War vet Captain Bruckner square off one final time. As what usually happens in situations like this, surprise, something out of the ordinary happens.
And a vortex is open that pulls Talset through to the Lost Land. When Talset comes to in the Lost Land, he basically finds himself in a very strange world full of prehistoric creatures, alien life forms, high technology, low technology. It's a very bizarre world.
While exploring the Lost Land, Talset will find that he is destined to take up the mantle of Turok, the son of the stone and the protector and savior of the Lost Land. Hence, the name of the game, Turok Evolution.
I have brought you here to accept your destiny.
No.
You have no choice. I have searched for hundreds of years to find you. You are the son of stone. Accept the burden and release me.
One new addition to the Turok series is the ability to fly, but not just any flying. We're talking soaring the skies on a pterodactyl flying.
The player will take to the air on the back of a winged dinosaur and engage in air-to-air and air-to-ground combat. So what fun is it to fly a dinosaur if it doesn't have machine guns and guided missiles? So our dinosaur has machine guns and guided missiles.
The game's got all sorts of weapons at your disposal. Some of the safer ones we can show you are the very popular War Club, the Tech Bow, Sniper Pistol, and what demolition of a T-Rex would be complete without a trusty grenade at your disposal? All your favorite extinct creatures make an appearance here. From those big old Brachiosaurus who just want to be left alone, to the cocky raptors who show their smug little faces as well. And what game, nay, what world would be complete without a rampaging attack from a T-Rex? The game looks great, from the lushness of the forest to the movement of the trees. And the animal sounds and music only add to the suspense.
It's a game about, really finding out who the bad guys are and really just kicking the crap out of them, if you want to put it bluntly.
Turok Evolution is available in stores everywhere. Pick up one before it's extinct. Now that's a great exit line.
Turok's the only game out there that'll let you joyride on a pterodactyl and go fist to fist with a baboon. But sometimes you want a little bit more out of your gaming life than a bow and arrow and a loincloth. Look no further than the medieval fantasy battler Enclave. It is without a doubt one of the best looking Xbox games out there. But does pretty come with a price? Take a look.
They had won the battle against the Outland Raiders and driven them from Selenheim's soil. And victory was sweet upon their tongues as they set out upon the perilous journey before them. This was their chance to redeem themselves and aid their people. But so many things were unknown, unexplained.
If I've learned anything from medieval times, it's this: never buy a kingdom. No matter how peaceful and altruistic your motives, one of two things are bound to happen. You'll either go power mad and become tyrant bent on destroying all those who oppose you, or you'll be attacked by a power mad tyrant bent on destroying all that you stand for. Either way, it's a bum deal. Enclave for the Xbox proves my point. So it seems that a kingdom called Selenheim has fallen under the shadow of darkness. A wizard of light defeated a demon of dark, and all was joyous. However, darkness is never happy unless they are tormenting the light, and this is where we enter Enclave, good fighting evil.
It's based around this universe where on this planet there was this giant rift, this earthquake which shattered the world in two, and the light side separated onto one half and the dark side separated onto the other. And now the rift is closing and the two sides are fighting more and more, and it's only a matter of time before the rift closes and this war happens.
There are 2 full campaigns to battle through, light and dark, as well as 12 playable characters to choose from. The variety of characters available allows you to use the best suited fighter for your needs. Punching, stabbing, burning, hacking, casting, it's all here.
So we have a lot of different traditional fantasy environments. We have castles, fortresses, but we have some unconventional environments as well, like underwater magical prisons and this dark gothic, almost Geiger-esque style fortress at the end of the game, which is where the dark side live.
The medieval times are brought to life nicely through the detail of the maps and objects. The characters also show several levels of detail, like scars, cuts, bruises, and blood marks on clothing and skin. The animations of the characters, however, are a bit weak. The movements in battles and interactions fall on the repetitive side.
The music was done all in-house by a guy called Gustav Greenberg, who's also one of the level designers. And it's interactive, it has different layers, so depending on the pace of the action, it will pick up or slow down to kind of build on the suspense or to like underscore the action.
The sound effects and music are nicely supported by a 5.1 surround system, and highlights of this feature will be most evident during battles. Pick a side and join the Enclave for the Xbox.
If you're not getting enough of the swords and sweaty stuff, then why not check out our website at g4tv.com/blister. You can post on the message boards and find someone who shares your love of destruction. After the break, we're going to step into the shoes of Hitman 2. We'll find how the bald clone with the super shot is coming back to impress us, plus a little online time with SOCOM Navy SEALs. It's coming up only on Blister. Welcome back to Blister. The first Hitman was a great concept. You'd have to plan out your attacks, sneak around, and make a perfect hit on some dirty characters without getting caught. But what seemed great played like a Mack truck. Now Hitman's returned from the gaming graveyard for a second chance to knock you out. Here's why Hitman 2 has what it takes to kill you.
That bald clone with a penchant for death and destruction is back. I'm talking about Hitman 2 from Eidos Interactive. Once again, you take control of the bald Hitman known only as codename 47. It appears that 47 went into retirement after the first game, but a series of unforeseen events have caused him to get back into the business of killing. Of course, you just can't kill arbitrarily. You'll have specific targets, from mafia dons to expert computer hackers. Some of these hits will be heavily guarded, and it'll be up to you to figure out how to get at them. You can go in with all guns blasting. You can snipe your target from a distance, or you can sneak your way in. You'll still be able to kill anyone on the map and don their clothes as a disguise. Your arsenal includes your trusty twin 45 caliber AMT hardballers and the silent but deadly piano wire. As you get deeper in the game, you'll eventually gain access to everything from chloroform and poison darts to rifles and machine guns. The graphics are a step up from the original, while not being a huge departure in terms of style. The music includes pieces by the Budapest Symphony Orchestra and really gives the game a cinematic feel. Be warned, Hitman is brutally violent and civilians are fair game. Still, the open-ended design and mature concept behind Hitman 2 is sure to draw a big yet mature audience.
47, still sharp enough to handle a job these days?
Maybe being a hitman isn't the most noble of professions, and don't even give me that, well, he's a clone so it doesn't count argument. But how about the Navy SEALs? The SEALs are so tough and honorable that even Charlie Sheen slipped on a wetsuit to portray them in a movie. Now, they're going to take you online in the PS2 multiplayer shooter, SOCOM US Navy SEALs. This is the signature game to use Sony's new online setup, and we're here to show you why it's better to play with your friends.
Being a Navy SEAL is probably the toughest job in the world. So thank the maker for video games like this one, SOCOM US Navy SEALs for the PlayStation 2. If the idea of Hell Week sounds intriguing, but only because you get to watch someone else do it, then this game is for you. SOCOM is a realistic military shooter in the same style of Rainbow Six that puts you in the soggy boots of small unit combat. But don't just take my word for it. Context is king, so let's learn a bit about real-life SEALs before we go any further. Just take a look at this documentary from the game.
When it comes to action and challenge, few jobs are as demanding or intense as being a U.S. Navy SEAL. The workplace, on the move. A phone call can send a SEAL team anywhere in the world on short notice. Work hours, mostly night. The SEALs use darkness as cover and most often want to stay out of sight, so they work in teams as small as 2, 4, 8, or 16. They're almost always outnumbered. But on their side is speed, stealth, and surprise. They're trained to arrive and leave quickly and quietly, operating by sea, air, and land. That's why they're called SEALs.
SOCOM for the PS2 is both a single-player game and a multiplayer online game. Packed with the game is the SOCOM headset that allows you to communicate with your team and give orders. In the single-player mode, saying the team name Bravo brings down a menu with several commands, such as deploy or ambush or attack. When using the headset online, you'll be in direct real-time voice contact with your fellow SEAL team members. Although SOCOM's single-player mode has plenty of missions to accomplish packed with all types of surprises, weapons, and objectives, it's the online multiplayer mode that really cranks it up. Play with up to 16 players over 3 game types as either a Navy SEAL or a terrorist. The constant real-time voice contact with your teammates combined with the realistic game environments fully immerses you in the gameplay. The attention to details is one of the highlights of SOCOM. The animation, interactive environments, level design, and missions weave a tapestry of stealthy gameplay tactics and quick one-shot kills. This isn't about Schwarzenegger-style gunplay, with you mowing down half the Amazon with a minigun. The spoils of victory go to the quiet guy who gets the drop on the rest.
Enemy sighted, 3 o'clock.
The 3 different games in multiplayer offer the same but different types of combat. Demolition tasks one team with finding a bomb and planting it on the other team's side. Suppression is your classic deathmatch game, and Extraction has the SEALs rescuing a gaggle of hostages from the clutches of terrorists. If these game modes sound familiar, it's because PC online games like Counter-Strike and Ghost Recon have made them extremely popular and easy to play. When playing the single-player mode, keep in mind that the artificial intelligence is pretty boneheaded. The enemies usually stand around waiting to get plugged. Even your own team members will do stupid things, like rush the enemy from a long distance to brain them with the butt of their rifle instead of just picking them off using their long-range weapons. So what forces actually brought about the need for an elite fighting unit like the SEALs?
The need for commandos like the SEALs began in World War II. Before Allied forces could hit the beach, swimmers had to scout approaches and clear obstacles that might stop landing craft. They were eventually formed into underwater demolition teams, or the UDTs.
That's just a taste of the long history of the Navy SEALs. Learn more by playing SOCOM US Navy SEALs, available now for your PlayStation 2.
If you feel like you're playing target practice as the target, in Navy SEALs, there's a solution. Jump on our Blister forums at G4TV.com/Blister and get some tips from other gamers who've mastered the art of the frag. While you're there, drop us an email and tell us what you think about any of today's games. Well, that's all the time we've got for this edition of Blister. I am Bill Sindelar. We will see you next time. Get on out of here. Bye.
In 1962, President John F. Kennedy directed the Navy to develop a special force for unconventional warfare. In response, the Navy developed the SEAL teams and recruited many UDT members into them. The SEALs were quickly pulled into the Vietnam conflict. No SEAL has ever left a teammate behind on a mission, alive, wounded, or dead. But tools and technology aren't the SEAL team's real strength. Naval Special Warfare relies, above all else, on what instructors call the Mark I Mod SEAL, a naval commando hardened by some of the most difficult military training in the world.